हेलो, गुड इवनिंग, वेलकम, सुस्वागतम, स्वागत है आपका आज के इस 79th एक्सपर्ट टॉक लाइव सेशन में. सो टुडे वी विल हैव आवर एक्सपर्ट मिस्टर मयंक शर्मा who will be speaking on challenges for financial inclusions and credit penetration. So let us invite our expert of the day. Yes,
Hi, good
Mayank.
evening, everybody.
Yes, good
Thank you,
evening.
Vipul.
Thank you so much for accepting our invitation and joining us.
Thank you, Vipul, for inviting me to your expert talk show. It's
Yes,
been a
so
privilege to
yeah, it's
be
been,
knowing you.
yeah, since college days we are learning from you, and it's, and you all seniors were inspiration to us. So thank you for that inspiration and all the learnings. And I'm sure कि आज भी बहुत ही कुछ inputs मिलेगा, बहुत ही कुछ समझने को मिलेगा. Yes, thank you, Manikanta. Thank you everyone for joining in. Do comment. Yes, Manish, good evening. Thank you for joining in. So do comment, do like, do share this session in your friends and family, and do subscribe our YouTube channel Vipul the Wonderful. Press the bell icon for our regular updates. अगर आप LinkedIn पे देख रहे हैं तो हमें वहाँ पे भी follow कर सकते हैं. So let us start the session, and let me give a brief intro about Manish Sharma. So Manish Sharma, a highly accomplished individual with a wealth of experience and expertise in BFSI field for over 20 plus years, with an impressive background in handling various lending, insurance, and wealth products pan India. Mayank Sharma has made a significant contribution to the industry and has proven track record of success. It is a pleasure to have him as a speaker, and would be our privilege to have his insight with us today. Yes, so thank you, Manish, once again, and uh, please tell us more about you and your life journey till now.
So, thank you, Vipul, and thank you, Poster Resume, for inviting me over to your expert talk show. It's been a privilege, and it's a long journey associated with Vipul since college days, but we have reconnected lately.
Yeah.
So in my journey, I have started quite early in life, coming from a business background and starting jobs quite early, right from selling uh, Eureka Forbes vacuum cleaners in the heat of in the heat area where people usually don't even buy that kind of machine of that cost in 20 years ago. So yeah, I mean, I started on the ground. I'm happy in last or then I worked in a couple of companies, SBI cards and everything, and then finished my MBA and joined this prestigious company called IFL. And since then, since 20 plus years, I've been here, and it's a quite a eventful journey. So yeah, I mean, then I have pursued MDB programs in IMC and ISB, and I think I've recently been awarded as 40 under 40 by BW Business World.
Wow.
Just trying to make a little bit change.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Just trying to make little bit change in whatever in my way I could do within the landscape of operations of what I'm there, and to reach out to many people through our good work of whatever we are doing it. So that's it all about myself. And I think we are good to go to start the session.
Yes, so it's a great spirit to share your knowledge. Knowledge and अपना experience बढ़ने से बढ़ता है. So that's
Like,
amazing spirit, and we salute to that spirit. And because of spirit like you guys, this is 79th expert talk show which is happening today. So thank you once again, Mayank, for your amazing support. And let us start the session with very first question. बिफोर दैट ऑडियंस आई वुड लाइक टू रिक्वेस्ट यू, अगर आपको भी कुछ क्वेरी या कुछ क्वेश्चन है तो यू कैन डेफिनेटली आस्क दैट ड्यूरिंग द लाइव सेशन. यस, लावा लक्ष्मी नारायण, पीयूष, संदीपम, पृथा, अनिल, thank you for joining in, and thank you for showing your presence. And let me start the session with very first question. uh, what is the landscape of rural credit in Bharat? Which institutions lend actively over there?
so Bipul, I think it's a very interesting topic. I think it's very close to my heart also. Since over a decade, I've been fortunate enough to be a part of growing organization where our focus is always under the rural and underserved people of this great country called India. And I have traveled length and breadth of this country, and the changes which I've seen over last decade is astonishingly amazing. Right from Jammu to Kanyakumari, the
True.
people and the landscape have changed drastically. I think
True.
rural credit is basically about small people, small shops, farmers, and people who reside in tier four, tier five kind of cities. And all of us who have not traveled in those kind of smaller towns, we will be amazed to see that as good as Amazon is delivering there, as good as all kind of, after this recent government initiatives of Jan Dhan and electricity and everything, that the towns are buzzing. The towns are buzzing with the data. They are aware about everything what is happening across India, across the globe. As far as landscape of rural credit is concerned, it's huge. The current, I think, every town of India is a huge requirement of credit. I think that's where the all the NBFCs, fintech, and the banks are trying to reach out with the help of government initiatives, technology, to make more and more people include into this part of the economy of us. See, majorly there are three or four types of rural credit landscape which are broadly there. I think majority of them is microfinance, commercial
True.
loans, and your every ticket size loans of smaller shopkeepers loans, small ticket lab loans. Gold loans is a big part. In last 10 years, gold loan has grown leaps and bounds across the industry, where people from smaller towns can avail small ticket loans without any questions asked in less than 10 minutes, 15 minutes kind of a thing. So I think
True.
landscape has grown largely, and I don't want to speak numbers right now because I think most of people here would not be interested in getting numbers or GDP growth and so on and so forth. But yeah, the landscape is changing very fast, and I'm sure if you go to your town now or your hometown now, or if I go to my hometown now after all these years, we are also amazed by the quality of roads and quality of life which has changed drastically. There.
Very true. Very true. Well said. So the next question is, what are your thoughts about financial inclusions? मतलब अगर लेमन की लैंग्वेज में बोले तो फाइनेंशियल इंक्लूजन क्या होता है, पहले आप अगर ये बताएं, एंड देन यू कैन टेल अबाउट योर थॉट्स अबाउट द फाइनेंशियल inclusions in Bharat, and do you think it is commercially viable for lenders
So
like
okay,
you
correct,
know? Yeah,
correct.
yeah.
सो व्हाट इज फाइनेंशियल इंक्लूजन? यानी फाइनेंशियल इंक्लूजन का अगर फ्रॉम माय पर्सपेक्टिव, अगर लेमन लैंग्वेज में अगर आप जानना चाहो, तो हर इंसान जिसको क्रेडिट चाहिए, हर इंसान जिसको ही कैन टेक बेनिफिट ऑफ आर अमेजिंग फाइनेंशियल इकोसिस्टम, and he's not able to be a part of it because he's new to credit, he's not aware about what is happening and what set of FD rates, government rates, gold rates, government schemes. I think he should be able to be part of that. All women's of the country, those who are running the households and those who are doing the major decisions, I think they are also a big part of, they should be a big part of financial inclusion. I think most of the microfinance industries, they're doing a terrific job of including women to the main financial inclusion atmosphere. I think this
Right.
Jandan Yojana 7 8 years ago, that has transformed, that was a first stepping transform stone in the changing the entire landscape. And I think the cheap data, I think after that the cherry on the top was UPI. You will be amazed to know, like, right from a hawker to everybody in the country uses UPI. You scan it, pay it, move on in life. Rickshaws, autos everywhere, bhajiyas, vada pavs, dhoklas, idli, everywhere, every stop. In your smallest of the town. It is amazing. Like,
That's
people
a big
use this.
revolution. Yeah, that's a big
Yeah,
revolution.
so I think that is where I think that is where the financial inclusion has come down largely, and I think that has helped the technology and government initiatives of Aadhaar and helping all lenders like us to reach out and last mile customers. There has helped to got the entire financial inclusion on a larger scale. There's still a long way to go. India is a growing and ever growing country. I think we are 75th year of our independence, and in the next 25 years, which are golden period for India.
True.
And I think all of us in the same age group should be our golden period for our careers also. So I think it's a good headway for next 25 years, and I think in next 25 years we'll see Bharat becoming the real India, and that is where I think the majority of the lenders and government is trying to focus to empower them to have them the real share in the entire ecosystem.
Yeah, that's rightly said. UPI has, played a very pivotal role. It's like a revolution in Indian economy. And funny part of this is कि UPI की आने के कारण जो चॉकलेट रिटेल्स था उसमें काफी डाउनफॉल आया, क्योंकि पहले चेंजेस में बायर्स जनरली रिटेलर्स चेंजेस की जगह पे आपको चॉकलेट्स दिया करते थे। तो फनी पार्ट ऑफ यूपीआई इज यूज इंक्रीज होने के कारण ये भी एक यू नो
चॉकलेट का
फनी
सेल्स
पार्ट,
डाउन
हाँ,
हो गया है.
सेल डाउन हो गया रिटेल
See,
चॉकलेट्स
you
का।
and me are anyways not allowed to have so many chocolates now. So maybe kids
ट्रू
it is
ट्रू
good enough. For you
ट्रू
and me
ट्रू
should be staying away from chocolates now. But yeah,
ट्रू ट्रू या सो
but
दैट्स
yeah, I
दैट्स
mean that's a good valid point.
True, true. So, yes, audience, thank you. आपके messages देख रहा हूँ कि thank you for showing your presence and keep it up. अगर आपकी कोई live questions है तो उसको वो भी you can ask. Definitely, we'll cover them if they are according to the today's topic. So, moving on to the next question, what has been India's Bharat's approach towards financial inclusion and how it is unique?
I think from a regulatory point of view and from the government initiative, I think that two things which has empowered this entire inclusion towards a greater extent. One was branch authorization policy. I think most of us on this call or even in the industry also, many of them are not aware about this. That government of India has long back has authorized and regulated branches to ensure that they are socially banking branches. So when I say socially banking branches, out of any four branches, one branch has to be in rural, underserved, underpenetrated market. Then it was more defined as 25% of your branches of large banks and even large NBFCs like us who has got multiple locations. We have been, you know, helped to reach that underserved people of northern eastern India, southern India, eastern India, northern India, so on and so forth. So I think that branch authorization policy of social banking over a period of last 10-15 years have now seen results where you can see a bank branch, a post office bank branch, or there are multiple initiatives where they have converted so many institutions into small payment banks and so on and so forth to reach out everybody within the part of India. And that has helped drastically there. Second, I think a small initiative which not people outside BFSI would understand about it is priority sector lending. So PSL is a usually initiative by banks to ensure that certain, for example, let's say 25% or 10% of the entire portfolio has to be given to only people who come from this weaker sections of society. So PSL lending is a part of every bank's mandate where their portfolios and their lending towards the weaker section has to be mandated there. So I think this two, in my view, have changed the grassroots levels of how the financial inclusions towards approach of the government and the banking system has changed drastically.
Yes, very rightly said. Postal banks and rural banks. These two are the
Correct.
big revolutions, because India's post office is having the largest network across the world. So that's a big revolution. And जो आपने बताया ना, छोटी छोटी rural branches, even कुछ small branches without big authorization, वो भी एक अच्छा decision है.
So
So
this has even helped. This has even helped as like private lenders like HDFC, Kotak, ICICI as a bank to reach out to those sections, and larger NBFCs like us, Muthoot, Cholamandalam,
true, true.
Shriram. They also have reached out to all these guys. I think it is the fast mix is changing. It's like brick and mortar plus digital. So it's a combination of both of them, which is working out for the lenders as per their strategies.
Yes, that's true. I feel that your team is showing your showing their love towards you, and they are popping up and saying good evening sir, good evening sir. So that shows your जो कॉलेज टाइम में हमने देखा था charismatic persona, वो अभी भी maintained है, that's showing up. Thank you. So Lava Lakshmi is asking one question. Lava Lakshmi
So I was
Narayana.
thinking people will take all the questions once we finish this, or how do you want to do it?
Yeah, that's better. We can take it afterwards also at the end. That will be better. So no issues. I'll
Yeah.
I'll keep that in the list. And
So
moving on
I
to
was
the,
thinking we'll finish the session and then last 10-15 minutes we can take the entire
yeah,
question
so
answer
that ऐसा भी हो
session.
सकता है कि कुछ questions already cover हो जाएंगे, तो we will
Correct.
skip them. Yeah, that's perfect. So uh, next question is, what are the major sources of credit in Bharat and how it is changing?
So I think it is of course the commercial banks, like big boys. That is regional banks, like regional cooperative banks, cooperative credit societies, microfinance, NBFCs like us, and of course the government itself, mudra loans, so on and so forth. I think these are the five or four or five major constitutes of having sources of credit in Bharat and reaching out to the last mile people there. I think you every smaller town you'll see a flavor of credit societies. You'll see a flavor of your regional banks going there and lending the look, and people do believe them more. I mean, of course, because the banks have been there since long, and of course the SBIs and BOBs of the world, they all have been there since ages. So I think commercial banks, cooperative societies, regional banks, governments, NBFCs, and microfinance. These are the five major source of credit providing towards the Bharat, and of course all of them have changed drastically now. There was a very, I mean, there was a joke on a very big bank that it's almost lunchtime every time you go there. It's no more a joke. Trust me, my friends work there in couple of PSU banks, and they have been more aggressive in so many products in last 5 years, 6 years, 10 years than even many of them at a private bank. So yeah, so it's new generation coming in over the banks. So regulator trying to push all of us to having a proper network of
True,
branch. I
true.
think that is changing drastically
Even
there.
merger of few PSUs and making one PSU a stronger identity, it has also played a pivotal role.
Correct,
And
correct.
I also felt so because I have my major accounts into PSU, so I have seen the changes and in their services and their response time. It has
Correct.
changed drastically over the period of 10-15 years.
So I'm telling you, apart from approached on good customer service, now these banks are eager for business, like they're hungry
True,
for business.
true,
So
true,
that
true.
has changed the entire landscape drastically, and that's good sign also that our large PSU banks, after well capitalized, they are actually working hard to get business on every part of it.
Yeah, yeah, that's really true. I've felt, I also experienced that. So that's amazing. So yeah, moving on to the next question: how is technology playing a role towards financial inclusions as we speak?
So technology, I think when we were growing up, we hardly had a sense of technology, right? From dial-up to sitting in a cafe for 30 hours where your phone does not even connect, where this generation doesn't even know about it, right?
True,
So
true that.
everybody who's grown up in last 1 or 2 decades or last 3 decades, it's been amazing journey to see how the world has transformed drastically. Now even if your kids don't even know that their phone is buffering, they'll start like, what is this happening, right? So that is
True.
how technology has changed drastically. I
And
think,
many of them might have never ever used a landline phone. That's a
yeah, they
uh,
don't they don't even know what is landline, right? They don't
yeah,
even
yeah.
know.
They have not seen even many a times.
Yeah, so I think that's a huge transformation. I think the low pricing of data, first of all, I think that has enabled quite a big change. And then it's mobile banking, digital payments, and I think the great work they've done through Aadhaar or biometric authentication to identify one common denominator among all the individuals. I'm not saying it is as good as the identification or the other valid IDs which government is saying, but I think Plus, the new generations have been quite financially aware. There's a online lending and microfinance which has reached out to large set of people across India. And I think the government initiatives also at the heck of it. They have marketed themselves very well towards the last mile of everybody there. And I think that is how the technology of, see, there are two ways. You Okay, technology and making it affordable to everybody, to the last mile in the smallest village of the town, that is more essential. And I think somewhere as an India we have done our part. Like, I can say we have done the first or second stepping stone there. I think we have a long way to go, but I think I'm pretty much, sure that in next 2 to 5 years things will change drastically, and the economies of scale will bring down all the operating cost for everybody, so that there can be better services. Plus, there would be more number of people who would be able to join this at a very lesser cost.
True, true, true. So that's really true that technology has changed, or that has played a very pivotal role. Now, coming to the next question, finally, what are the challenges towards credit penetration in Bharat, and how do we address them?
I think that is where the whole topic is very close to me also. I think, right. Where I start from is, still I feel, and the data and numbers show that still there's a lack of financial literacy. When I say financial literacy, I don't mean that they don't understand business or maths. Everybody does, who runs a shop or who runs their farming and everything, but they don't know the various initiatives which can create wealth for them. When I say financial literacy, I would wish every woman in every household of every town should know that there are so many schemes for her family, जिसमें से वो काफी सारे अपने वेल्थ क्रिएट कर सकते हैं ऑन डिफरेंट डिफरेंट फोरम्स. सेकेंड, आई थिंक स्टिल लिमिटेड बैंकिंग इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, जहाँ पे अभी बहुत बैंकों को काम करना बाकी है. इट्स एन एवर ग्रोइंग thing for us, and I think that is also one point. Third, I think inadequate collateral, credit history, and credit sources. बहुत लोगों ने आज तक कभी लोन नहीं लिया है. They don't know how to take a loan, how to apply for a loan. Will they get a loan? Will they not get a loan? So I would suggest that they should start with a smaller loan, 30,000, 40,000. So in a smaller ticket loan, I think microfinance and gold loans are the more typically a better areas of starting your understanding of how the loan works, how the interest works, so on and so forth. There are many initiatives run by many large NBFCs and banks to ensure that it's okay to take a loan. First of all, the mental block in India is we are a saving society.
Saving society, true.
Like, all of us grew up, all our
And
parents,
saving with a low risk taking, mentality, I will say. We
correct,
believe in FDs and post deposits and all this. We don't believe to take a risk while when it comes to money, saving
correct.
money particularly. Mm.
Imagine now almost one third of the world, which is India, which is almost like 141 billion people, or more, somewhere around there. If we become a saving society and a less risk taking society, it has a financial implication across the globe. So I think slowly and gradually, it is not a taboo anymore कि आप लोन लोगे तो ऐसा हो जाएगा.
True, true,
या
true.
लोग आपको, people will start seeing you with a different point of view. आई थिंक लोन इज ओके. आपको लोन लेना चाहिए, आपको समझना चाहिए. और बहुत बार ऐसा होता है कि when people actually they are in need of money, they'll ask for their friends, relatives, so on and so forth. But by this medium today, I would also want to tell everybody that it is okay to go to your banks and BFCs and take smaller loans. So I think
True.
the mental block, along with all this smaller road bumps, are still challenges going there. So I think that was our last question, Vipul.
Yeah, that was one of the, yeah, last question. Now we will cover the audience question. So the first
So
question was, yeah,
I
yeah,
could
please.
I could yeah I could see
Yeah,
Two.
from
One was, what's your opinion on gold rate hike? Any chances for falling? I think gold rate is directly proportional to what is happening across the globe. But I think so far, the uncertainty with Russia war, and there are a couple of banks failing in US. I think gold is pretty much stable at this level. I am no expert in gold prices, but yeah, I mean, in my personal view, I think gold still will remain under the same undercurrent level.
right.
Second, I think, was, what's your current view on current debt crisis, and how can it affect on India? I think US, if anybody's following US political thing, I have been following it since, because I like politics also, over 2 3 decades. Every year, every term after midterm, this thing comes where US hits the debt ceiling. Every president goes through this, and every president goes through the same drill. So US debt ceiling issue is always there
So
since
this
all
is
the
not for the
presidents.
first time. This is not for the so nothing to
It happens
worry.
every time. It happens exactly 6 months after your midterm. So after a midterm polls, it happens there. Then they say there is will be a log jam, lockdown. It doesn't happen. There was a very famous 15-day log jam at time of second presidency of Barack Obama, but that also was not on the ground. Like, people used to still work, go to the work, they were paid, everything was there.
True, true, true,
How
true.
can a budding entrepreneur make the most of the financial inclusion in Bharat? I think if you're an entrepreneur, you exactly know what kind of services or products you want to get into it. I think the flavor of Bharat is changing very fast. And if anybody sitting in metros and high rises buildings, they feel that the people there. So you would be shocked to know that there are more number of salons in towns than in metros. There are more number of dominoes in smaller towns and smaller cities than in metros. So
Wow.
yeah, I mean, they're fast changing. They have got reach of entire technology. And I think for most entrepreneurs, it is just focus on what do you want to achieve with them. For example, either are you into, let's say, services, trading, so on and so forth. Focus on your product. Try to reach out. Go first and foremost, just go and visit the place. Like, visit 5 small towns in different parts of India, and you'll get the flavor. So yeah, I think that's the
Very true.
travel.
Yeah. सो आई एम श्योर कि वी वुड मयंक जी ने आपके क्वेश्चंस के आंसर दिए होंगे एंड थैंक यू फॉर आस्किंग योर क्वेश्चंस सो इट वाज अमेजिंग मयंक नाउ we'll end up the session with your final words, your success mantra or one thing which inspire you and one thing which you would like to share with our audience.
I think I would stick to the topic then about to myself. I mean, that's why you're here for. As I
Yeah,
said rightly, uh, India is in 75th year, and we have 25 years more to go for a century. I think next 25 years is gonna be interestingly uh, golden years. I hope for all of us as a country, as an individual, as a team, as everybody who can listen to this. And as they rightly say, okay, our time is here now.
true.
We are here on the global stage. We are here in terms of everything, and I think it's next 25 years is time for India to shine, and all of us to make great health and great wealth.
Very rightly said. That was a perfect concluding notes. And thank you, Mayank, for joining us today. Audience, you
Thank you,
can
Vipul,
connect with.
and your team for inviting me over a Friday evening. Happy weekend
Yeah.
and enjoy.
Yes, audience, you can connect with Mayank on LinkedIn. This is his LinkedIn ID. Very short, very unique, slash MS303. So that's amazing. Yeah, you can connect with him. And if you have any questions, then you can also ask it afterwards in YouTube video. We will be happy to answer that. And Mayank, thank you so much for joining in today and wishing you all the best. Thank you. Thank you. Stay
Thank
blessed.
you. Thank you. Yeah, bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, audience. So it was amazing session. I'm sure you would have got so many things from today's session. तो आपका सेशन आज ये 79 सेशन था. Thank you everyone for joining in, appreciating, asking your questions and बस ऐसे ही जुड़े रहिए हमारे इस YouTube चैनल विपुल द वंडरफुल में. हम ऐसे ही एवरी वीकेंड किसी ना किसी एक्सपर्ट को इनवाइट करेगी और उनका नॉलेज आपके साथ शेयर करेगी. So subscribe our YouTube channel Vipul the Wonderful. Press the bell icon to get our regular updates, and आज तक के जितने भी सेशंस हुए आप उनको देख सकते हैं, उनको अपने नेटवर्क में शेयर कर सकते हैं. So audience, this session was powered by Post Resume. We are providing middle and senior level recruitment services across India and Africa since 2007. So do connect with us if you are looking for any recruitment related help or guidance, or looking for services for your organization. Thank you so much for today. See you with some different expert. We will be having one expert on this Sunday morning. So stay tuned. Keep checking our YouTube for the details and updates. It will be show. It will be popped up. It will be updated just after this session. So thank you so much. Stay blessed. Take care. Keep smiling.